Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Greg Summers. Today I wanted to show you how I'm currently using the FM3 with my pedal board. So I got the FM3 back in March of this year, and I decided right away that I would get it mounted to a pedal board. I have it directly mounted to the pedal board without taking the feet off. This is a Temple Audio Duo 24 board. Rather than use the plates and try to remove the feet, I didn't want to block anything underneath it, specifically that exhaust port. I have a Big Sky to offload some CPU. Now with the latest firmware 2.0, there are some CPU improvements as far as optimization, so you can really get away with this. And honestly, on my patches, what I do for worship and stuff, I can really get away with not using the Big Sky. So a lot of people get confused and they say, well, why do I need to spend all this money and then I still have to offload reverb? No, you don't have to. So this is just what I like. I like to twist knobs.
We're counting on you.
I also have a stand-in switch. You see my little toe pointing to it. The stand-in switch is exactly what it sounds like. If you've never heard of stand-in switches, they stand in for existing functions that are built into the FC switching system. So if you have a function that's tuner or something like that, it's already built in, then you can map it to one of these. So if you don't have an external switch, you can slap a cheap stand-in switch. I built this one for $15 or something, you know. I just like tinkering and soldering and all that, but you can get them pretty cheap on Amazon. So this is just a 2-button. It has tip and ring in here, and that's where you program the tap and hold functions. And I'll tell you what I've got mine programmed to here shortly. I've got an EV2 that is only used, I really only use it for volume, but I can map it to other things too, wah and well, any other parameter that I want. So, and this is finally a wireless, a GLD X16 from Shure. Excellent wireless for a pedal board. All right, so here's how I'm using it. So we have a preset here. I do presets for each song. I've got a MIDI block here. That MIDI block actually controls everything on my reverb. And so it sends program changes with this value right here. As that increments up and down, that is, it changes the presets on the Big Sky. Simple volume block here, compressor drive with some different drives on different channels. And amp block, I'm primarily using the matchless and then a custom IR from York Audio. You can check out this video right here, and I'll demonstrate those York Audio IRs for that pack. It's excellent, and York Audio has excellent packs altogether. Simple stereo tape reverb delay. And this here, I'm using output 2 for the Big Sky. So you are basically going to eat up those connections on your FM3. So quickly, in the FC controllers menu, over here are views. And what this is, if you picture an FC12, okay, or you could say FC6, right? So it's like this. Well, I have an FM3, so everything on the FM3, under these 3 switches, there's 4 views. So basically it's like a built-in SC12. You just have to do a little bit of navigation to get to those views. And I think people get confused by that a little bit. That's where my stand-in switch comes in. So basically what the stand-in switch is doing in my situation, because you can program those buttons to do anything you want. You can have it a tuner, you can have it bypass blocks, just whatever you want to do, whatever function exists already. So in this case, I needed to step through views quickly. If I didn't have the stand-in switch and just had the FM3, here I am on view 1, and I use scenes. Scenes are easy for me. I don't have to bypass blocks too much manually. So for me, I want to stay on the layout, which if you look in FC controllers, layouts are presets, scenes, effects, channels, just different button layouts. These are your default ones. And then you change through those views. Like if you had an FC12, there is no views in there. It's just that's your view, right? FM3 does something clever here to get through these views. So if I didn't have the foot switch, the little stand-in switch, I would be on view 1, and you can't really see it because it's blown out, but I've got an ambient preset, a drive that switches a drive on, And then a Drive Plus. Drive Plus basically just takes and adds a TS-808 in this case to the matchless preset. Now I have a final scene, scene 4. Scene 4 is actually in another view, so that is a swell. So if I needed to change to that view on the FM3, to change views, you basically hold down the rightmost button and then hold down the left one to go forwards and backwards on views. So for example, scene 4, okay, 1, 2, 3, scene 4 is on the next view over. So I would hold and it gets to the swells right here. Well, I found quickly that it was kind of difficult for me to quickly get back and forth on some of these maybe more complex presets. Mine's pretty easy. I don't access swells that much, so I put it on the other layout, the other view, so I didn't have to access it much. But when I need to, I've programmed the tap function on this to cycle between views. So if you watch, you can see the colors change. So those are actually changing views. And I'm only utilizing 3 views. View 1, View 2, View 3, and in the stand-in menu under FC controllers in the setup of the FM3, you can program so it wraps around however many views that you want. You just got to dig in, use the manual, read through that, and it'll explain that a little bit better than I would in this video. All right, so I'm going to run through this. I'm going to kind of do a little, demo of how I'm using it and how fast you can switch between that. So I programmed the tap function for view, right? So the hold function on these switches, now I've got a second thing I can program them for. I need to bank up and down presets for different songs. I don't need to do this that often, so I assign hold functions for things that may take me a little longer. So in between a song, all I got to do is just hold down and it goes up. That one's an empty preset, but it just goes down, up and down my presets. All right, so now I'm on view 1, scene 1. So I'll play through a couple things here and you can kind of see how I switch, and it's basically what you're going to see is see me quickly switch, and it works well for me. I have my tuner on view 3, right? So all I have to do is really just step back, hit my tuner. Mainly at home, because when I'm playing live and this thing is not bypassed, because right now I'm not using my wireless, I can use the tuner here. So, but sometimes I still use that one. So back, I just got one step back. You can put that and program that anywhere you want on a view, and it works out great. So this is just the way that I'm using it right now. It just gives you one more idea of how you can program a simple stand-in switch. You can buy them on Amazon. You can make your own. You can do whatever you want, or you can just go out and buy the FC6. So not only does the FC add more switches, it also gives you more inputs for external pedals, which is a really good addition here. So I've basically used up everything on my FM3. The EV2 and the stand-in switch are using those switch ports. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I put out new content, and you guys have a good week.